everybody, it's Robbie from Southern California, and today I want to make a water feature for your yard that all kinds of birds will use, including hummingbirds. Hummingbirds will love this type of water feature, and there's really not much you need to get. I got an old bowl from a thrift store. Get something pretty and something that's not too smooth. That's kind of something you want to think about. You don't want something too smooth because you want to be able for them to grip if they want to land on it. That's important. And you can get anything as pretty as you want. It doesn't really matter on the color. And then you will need a fountain, and I use a pump. I use a solar pump, and we buy so many of them. And then you need rocks. There's going to be nothing else to buy. The only thing you really will have to invest in will be your solar fountain. And I buy mine on eBay. You can buy them on Amazon, anywhere else. And it comes with all kinds of little gizmos to make the water shoot up and do different things in different ways that it goes. And you don't want it to shoot up on a small bowl too much, or you'll end up going out and finding an empty bowl. It's this easy. This is literally probably going to be the shortest videos I make on a water feature. All you need is a bowl and some rocks. You won't even need any piping. You won't need to use the little gizmos that come with it unless you want to, but this is really the easiest way. This is your solar panel. This just has to be out in the sun. So you can prop this up any way that you so desire, and I'll try to get some more videos up on different ways that I'm making stands for them. But you can put them anywhere. The thing is, the panel has got to get some sort of sun. Now, if it's a cloudy day, but there's some sun coming through, then you will be able to still probably get it to work, because even on cloudy days, a lot of mine work. As long as this is clean, sometimes you need to wash it a little bit with some water. You know, here's something that nobody really talks about. Once in a while, these pumps go off, and they may not be blocked. See, I'm sitting in the shade and it's working already. They may not be blocked. What it is they seem to sometimes get a little warm, and there's a good feature I have found in it. It shuts off. So a lot of times all you have to do is wipe your hand over the panel, and even if it's been off for a while, and then it will just turn on. So try that sometimes. But all you need is you need a solar pump, and I've got some of mine going now for over 2 years. They're doing really, really good. And you just take the pump part. This is where the water is going to come out. You just sit it in there. And now it's kind of the way you set up your rocks. The rocks are what's going to bring the birds. The birds know what rocks are, and they love to land on rocks. So you want to situate your rocks. Look at that, I got 4 big rocks that I found around the property. And let's say we'll put it like this. And you may or may need another rock. And situate your rocks where your birds can land on it. And I think we're going to have to bring this out in the yard to see how it works. Your small finches around the yard like rocks. They like to land on it. They'll get on the sides and take a bath and splash. Your hummingbirds don't like a lot of deep water. They want to be able to land on something and take a bath in something shallow. So with the rocks, I have seen them come on here and do this flick, like they love sprinklers, and they'll flick through the water. Some of them will lay there and roll. I've got a water feature that's a ball, and they roll on it. And that's the type of water feature they like. So it's either something they can fly through, hummingbirds, or something they can lay on and roll, because boy, I'll tell you, they're getting dirty all day. They're going in the flowers and hummingbird feeders, and they get nectar on them, and they get pollen on them, and they love having something they can just scrub their little face, like a washcloth that we scrub our face with. They'll get on there and they'll scrub and scrub and scrub until they're clean. So this is all you need. This is how simple it is. And now as far as placement, we'll go in the yard and I'll get this thing set up and see how it works. They like it somewhat near plants. If I was leaving it right here, they may or may not use it. You know, they have to get into some place where they can dry off because they get really wet, and then they have to dry off. They can still fly because they don't get wet to the bone, but they do really wash themselves and get really wet. So they have to have an area, and usually it's a tree. It could be a heavy bush that they can go inside, and they like to get in there, and they literally prune their feathers, and they're literally dry in a minute or two. It's that quick. But they do want some sort of plant or someplace they can take cover. That's all you need to know. As far as water, no bottled water. Water from your hose is all you need. That's it. And you are good to go. So you need a bowl. You need some rocks. You won't need any rubber tubing, nothing fancy. You won't need these little water features that come with it that snap on. You could, but usually they spray too high. Every pump sometimes is a little different. So you can try it. If you want to stick one of the water feature things that come on here, you can. Just make sure it's not going past your bowl. Now, if you have a big bowl, sure, you can do that. But with small bowls, you really won't need it, because it's going to splash up on the rock, and it's going to give the movement. It's like a little pond that has a little bit of a movement to it. That's all they're really looking for, is the movement. But it's really easy if you wanted to add something on. For this particular one, I will not. There are suction cups on here, which is really nice. So if you've got a ceramic type bowl, it will hang on. And this is where you're going to add your different attachments to. You could add this one to give you a little more height, just that little tiny bit. I also will say that not all solar pumps are exactly the same. They don't all come with the same features. So they might come with different little things to them, and they may be slightly different, but that would be it. But from here, you can add on whatever you want. If you want the water a little higher, then go ahead and put on the little spout. I would suggest not to use these, because these will spray. This has a lot of power. This little tiny thing really gives off a lot of power. So it will spray, and you might think it might be somewhat cloudy and think, oh, it's not spraying that much, and walk away. Sun comes out and it's shooting out of the bowl, and then the bowl's empty. And you really don't want to run these empty, because you can burn them out. So if you run the pump when the bowls are empty, you risk a chance of it going bad, even though I have had them do that and they have not gone bad. But I know that they can. But if you want, you could do this, because it's not going to shoot up high. And you want to situate the rock, and there you go, where it's going to go over the rock. So you could do it either way, with or without. These, I would definitely not throw them away, because they do a lot of cute things, and you may change it up, and change what you do. That is the wonderful thing about these solar pumps. They're so easy and so fun to work with. Literally, I think we bought a couple dozen now already. Gary's setting more and more up in his garden. I've got them set up everywhere. And you can change them. If you don't like what it's doing, you can change it. But there are different ways to set up a little pond or a little water feature for hummingbirds. And that's the thing you want to remember. I made another one. I'll put the link to it with a plate on top. And the reason I put the plate on top is, again, because hummingbirds like it shallow. I've had them come down and do a couple little things on it and splash a little bit. But I think they really like the rocks the best. That's one of their favorite features, because it's natural. And they can grip onto this. Their little, tiny little toenails can hang on to a rock. Even though you may think it's smooth, they can hang on to that. So let's go into the garden. Let's go set this up in the sun. And then let's step away afterwards and see who comes to it. So we're out in the garden right now, and I've only had it out for really a few days, and I've kind of been trying to watch it. I don't have time to sit all day. I have seen the hummingbirds come to it. Some house finches and towies, they've been bathing in it as well as drinking in it. And you know what is so wonderful about solar? You can move it around. I had it in different places, trying to find the best spot for it. I ended up putting it up on the top there, which now has a few bees in it, because we're like close to 100 degrees today. but the birds have been using it and it works great. It's the easiest bird bath to put together. It's got the water movement, which all your birds love, especially your hummingbirds. They like the rock where they can splash on it or they can lay on it and roll. I have a ball one in my yard and I'll show you what that one looks like. Hummingbirds love to lay down on something like a rock and just roll and clean and wash their face because they get pollen and nectar. They get on it and they get really dirty. They go into spider webs and they collect insects. So they actually do get dirty and they really do like to scrub themselves. So this is going to be the easiest, simplest water feature you can make. All you need is rocks and a bowl of your choice. And then being solar, if you decide to go solar like I do, you can just pick it up and move it. Remember, they like a place where they can go take a bath and then go into the bushes. Someplace where they can go and dry off. They only need a few minutes to dry off, but they do need to dry off. And move it around and see what works best. In the beginning, if you put it right out in the open and not near any bushes or anything, they may not use it right away, but they might come really quick, take a drink and leave, which is fine too. So move it around, but I'm gonna leave it right now up on the pedestal back there. I think that works good. My frog and fish one is still their favorite along with the ball. That's because it's been in the yard for years. They're familiar with it and they like it. But when everything gets overcrowded, they use what they can find. And they like that bowl. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Just get yourself some big rocks. That should be free. Look around, you should be able to find some rocks. And as far as a bowl, you probably have a bowl in your own house somewhere. If not, your friends or family or somebody should have a bowl. And if you can't get it that way, you don't know where to get it, go to a dollar store or go to a thrift store. You should be able to find the bowl for like $1. So have a wonderful day. Get those bird baths out there because they need it. It's summer right here in the US, and summer or not, whatever the weather is, they all need water, they all need a drink, and they all do need to take a bath. Have a great day, and don't forget to eat what you grow. Bye-bye.